Bánh Xèo is a beloved Vietnamese street food. It's a culinary delight that showcases the country's diverse flavors. This popular street food delivers a delicate, crispy crepe encasing a deeply flavorful, savory filling. Accompanied by an abundance of crisp lettuce and fragrant herbs, it's a textural and flavorful adventure. We start off by preparing the crepe batter. For this, you need 2.5 cups of fine rice flour. Add this to a bowl along with 2/3 of a cup of corn flour, a half a teaspoon of turmeric powder, a teaspoon of salt, a tablespoon of vegetable oil. We have yellow food coloring here, which is optional. We're going to add it later after adding the liquid ingredients. And here we're adding 200 ml of Cara coconut cream. Coconut cream adds a subtle, rich flavor to the batter while enhancing the texture, and this complements the savory fillings well. Next, we're going to add 3.5 cups of soda water. Add half first and wait for the fizz to go down before adding the remaining amount. Check the color and you can add a little bit of that food coloring because these crepes are known for their vibrant yellow color. Using a wire whisk, mix everything together thoroughly and then cover this tightly and refrigerate for 4 hours or up to overnight. Meanwhile, we can marinate the chicken and prawns for the filling. We have 300 grams of boneless chicken breast cut into thin, flat strips, and we're going to marinate this with 2 cloves of garlic that have been minced, half a teaspoon of fish sauce, half a tablespoon of oyster sauce, half a teaspoon of black pepper powder, a 1/4 teaspoon of sugar, 2 tablespoons of water or shaoxing, 1 tablespoon of corn flour. Mix these ingredients really well into the chicken and set this aside. Next, we have 15 to 20 medium-sized prawns that have been cleaned. We have 1 to 2 teaspoons of green hot sauce or chili sauce. This is to be added later. And to those prawns, we're going to add 2 teaspoons of light soy sauce and half a teaspoon of Asian sesame oil. Toss the prawns to coat and then set this aside as well. Next, we're making the nuoc cham, which is the Vietnamese dipping sauce, which is made by mixing together a 1/4 cup of fish sauce, 2 tablespoons of freshly squeezed lime juice, 1 large clove of minced garlic, 1 small Thai red chili chopped, 1/8 of a cup of raw sugar, and 1.5 teaspoons of chili garlic sauce, along with 1/3 of a cup of water. We also have 2 tablespoons of julienne carrot, but this is only to be added at the time of serving. Stir well to allow the sugar to be dissolved, and then you can do a taste test and add a little bit more lime juice or sugar or other ingredients if needed. Next, we're going to take a look at the assortment of fresh lettuce, greens, and herbs that are served along with the Banh Xeo. You can use different lettuce varieties along with different salad greens, and then lots of fresh herbs like Thai basil and fresh coriander or Japanese mitsaba, which looks like coriander but it tastes different. You gotta have lots of mint, and then we also have luxa leaf known as Vietnamese mint and varieties of perilla leaf. Now here I'm using the Japanese and the Korean versions of perilla leaf. If you can find the Vietnamese perilla, use that. So rinse everything thoroughly, soak it in water for a little while, and then use a salad spinner to get rid of that excess water. Spread everything out on a platter. For the smaller leaves, you can pluck them, but for the larger leaves and even the coriander or the mitsaba, just leave it whole. Just make sure you've cut off the roots and you've cleaned it well. Now we're going to lay everything on a serving platter, ready to be served with the crepes once you've made them. Next, for the filling, we also need 2 to 3 cups of bean sprouts that have been cleaned. We're going to add this to boiling water and then drain it promptly after 2 minutes, after which we're going to cool it under running water to stop that cooking process. This way we blanch our bean sprouts and you can set that aside. For the filling, we also need 1 large yellow onion that has been sliced. Now it's time to cook the chicken and prawns that have been marinated. First, we're going to cook the chicken. Heat some oil for frying the chicken in a non-stick pan over medium-high heat. Add the marinated chicken and cook, stirring occasionally till it is no longer pink. When it's cooked, it develops some brown spots in places. This takes about 3 to 5 minutes for the chicken to cook tender. You can cut through a piece to check that it's done. Don't overcook your chicken. Drain away any of the excess liquid and then set aside. Next, we're going to cook the prawns. Wipe the skillet clean and add more oil. Add 2 tablespoons of sliced onion and then the marinated prawns. Toss on a high heat for about 2 minutes. Halfway through, add in the green hot sauce. In 2 minutes, the prawns should be cooked. Drain away any of the extra liquid and then set aside. So all the ingredients are ready for the filling. Now it's time to cook those crepes. Make sure the crepe batter has been removed from the fridge 30 minutes before cooking so that it's back to room temperature. Also give it a good stir because the flour will have settled at the bottom by now. Make sure you stir it well. Ensure that all the ingredients are within reach. Heat a non-stick pan over medium-high heat. Add a tablespoon of oil, and then add a few slices of onion as well as 3 to 4 prawns. Cook until slightly browned. Then move to one side of the pan. Pour about 1/3 of a cup of crepe batter into the pan and promptly swirl to create a thin, even layer. When the edges start to crisp and pull away from the pan, add in the cooked chicken and bean sprouts to the prawn side of the crepe and just fill in those gaps. Cook until the crepe is crispy. Fold the crepe in half, covering the filling, then reduce the heat and crisp it up further. So that's one done, and you can repeat this process for the remaining crepes. So this amount of batter makes a lot of crepes. The filling makes about 8 crepes. So you will have leftover crepe batter to make on another day. The crepe batter keeps really well, tightly stored in the fridge for up to 3 days, so you can make it later with different fillings of your choice. Or for this amount of batter, you can double the ingredients for the filling to feed a large crowd. These crepes are usually made to order while they're hot and crispy, served directly from the pan to the serving dish, served along with the assortment of lettuce and herbs. So this is how it's usually enjoyed. You take a large piece of lettuce or salad leaf, followed by all the other herbs, and then take a piece of that crepe and wrap it inside and dip it in the dipping sauce and enjoy. I also hope you enjoyed this video recipe for a cultural experience, our Vietnamese sizzling crepes, Banh Xeo. I'm leaving the recipe card for you all here. Thank you so much for watching. See you next time. Bye.